Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Hyrek from VoIP Supply, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of SIP Chats. Today, we have a very special guest, Buddy Oliver from Patton. And Buddy, do you want to introduce yourself and introduce Patton? Tell us what you guys do.
Sure. So I'm Buddy Oliver. I'm Vice President of Product Management here at Patton Electronics. Patton's been around for a long time, since about 1987. Started out as an industrial electronics company making kinds of serial converters and those sorts of widgets that you use, in an engineering type environment or industrial environment. But in the early 2000s, got into the voice over IP business, and I think that's probably how many of you are already familiar with us, making voice gateways and SBCs and those sorts of products. And so that's really kind of built the bulk of the business up to this point. I came actually from a company called Fiberplex Technologies. In 2017, we joined up or were acquired by Patton, and so we came out of a government focus, but the other big part of our business was the pro AV market. We had a product called Light Viper that was big in the pro audio and pro AV space, and some other products that fit into the UC from coming from that side, from the pro AV side into the UC area. So when we came together, really kind of made sense with this big overlap between obviously voice over IP is square in the center of UC. And then we also had some overlap in different areas of UC. So it made a whole lot of sense for us to get into this AV over IP marketplace when the opportunity hit.
Cool. So tell us a bit more about the AV opportunity. I heard a couple of terms thrown around, and maybe our customer base has too. Audante and Dante-AV.
Mhm.
Do you want to maybe tell me about what Patton is doing with that?
Sure, sure. So just back up one step. AVoIP is, stands for audio video over IP. And so, the audio security and of course voice over IP has been around for a long time and very widespread. But video has always been a problem because of the bandwidth required. And so now, sort of lagging the rest of those, the audio, the voice security, sort of lagging that, video is now getting to the point, the technology and the bandwidth is up to the point where we can actually legitimately start to do video as well over IP. And so, as part of that, there's a company out of Australia called Audinate. And Audinate is a supplier to manufacturers. They develop technology and chipsets that manufacturers use. Um, in the early 2000s, they came up with Dante Audio, a Dante Audio protocol, which is audio over IP for the professional audio world. And very quickly kind of dominated the market. There were a couple other players at the time that got squashed out. And now Dante Audio is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It is the de facto standard for audio over IP. Professional audio over IP versus voice over IP. It's two different. Um, and so Audinate now, last year, they announced they came out with a AV version of the Dante protocol, which not only supports the audio but adds video to it. And so it's an IP standard, totally routable over standard Ethernet equipment. Um, and so when they came out with this, while there's other people playing in the AV over IP space, um, there's just a lot of people that aren't figuring it out right. There's things out there. There's some proprietary things, but having the weight of somebody like Audinate coming in now, a proven protocol is pretty exciting. And so we were able to get in early on that. We're one of two manufacturers that are bringing products to market in the initial launch. Of course, there'll be plenty more after that, but we were fortunate enough to have an agreement where we are one of the first to market or the first to market with Dante AV endpoints.
Wow, that's awesome. Could you possibly give an example of an application of Dante AV or Audinate?
Sure, absolutely. So the if you think of just a simple like a large conference room or a training room where you have multiple inputs, and those endpoints on the input side would be things like cameras or media players, things like that. And then
Sure.
on the output endpoints or microphones as well. On the output endpoint side, you have monitors basically is pretty much going to dominate most of that. And so what we can do is in facilities that have large conference rooms where there's multiple inputs and multiple outputs, we can create these network systems that allow all that to interoperate and is software matrixed. But then when you grow a little bit bigger and you have multiples of these rooms within a facility or within a campus, college campuses, educational uh, places where you have either a combination of remote learning or learning across different buildings, all of that can be brought together in a real-time way with very high quality audio and video that's synchronized perfectly.
That's awesome. What types of customers are using that? Are you seeing it mainly with end users or resellers adapting this, or a mixture of both?
Well, that's the great thing. That's the great thing about the way that our company now has embraced UC is it's a lot of the same companies. It's like asking the question, who needs voice over IP? It's a very similar answer. Who doesn't, right?
Right.
Now, it is a little bit more of a subset in terms of, if you have just a small conference room for 10 people, you probably don't need it in there. But as you get into medium to large enterprises, where your conference rooms are set up to accommodate, large amounts of people, or you have training rooms, or like I said, you have multiple locations in a building. Um, those are some of the applications. So um, corporate house of worship. Certainly, I mentioned several times now, college campuses, education facilities, that sort of thing. That's typically where we're seeing the initial use cases, and of course, in different market space maybe than this audience is in. There's also, hospitality, things like sports bars and hotels that have uh, meeting rooms that they rent out, those sorts of things. Live production. It's quite a vast market.
For sure. Yeah, we see that a lot too. We're getting a lot of course, educational calls right now. Is they got a lot of grant money and funding, COVID funding and such, and we're seeing the AV rooms absolutely explode, and conference rooms and distance
Right.
learning centers.
Mhm. And so, yeah, I mean, from the end user standpoint, that's what defines those end users. But the customers are really going to be the system integrators. And
Right.
now it used to be very siloed system integration. But what we see now is with this X over IP sort of revolution that's happened over the last 10 years, integrators are doing voice, they're doing AV, they're doing security, um, just because to get more of those dollars under one roof. And so those are really going to be the target customers who are going to have those repeat designs over and over and over again.
For sure. And to those target customers, how would you say that Dante AV, is a differentiator? What makes them a different player?
Well, there's a few things that are really important. One is what I mentioned before, the interoperability. So there's well over 2,000 individual products already in the market that support the Dante audio protocol,
Wow.
made by hundreds of companies. Immediately, the Dante AV is interoperable without even any kind of testing or interop, just by the fact that it's all Dante protocol. Everything will work together. So you can take these audio endpoints and take that content and blend it with the video content that you have on your Dante AV, and it all works together. Nothing else in the market's like that for one. But when you get down to the technical side of it, Dante AV has what they call essences, and that's really going to be key. And what that means is other protocols are out there, the video and the audio and the control all stay together, and it's all sort of encapsulated in IP, and it all travels together. Dante AV is really different in that it has what they call essences. So the video by itself is an essence. There's 8 tracks of audio. Every track of audio is an essence. Every USB input can be an essence. And what that means is those can individually be routed to different endpoints or multiple endpoints, um, both on the distribution side and then on the collection side, say where you're putting it back together to display on an HDMI monitor. you can take audio sources from all different um, places, all different kinds of devices, merge them together and create a single HDMI stream to go to a TV to play on those speakers. So the fact that you can
Wow.
break out and route separately all of the video and audio is really unique in the market. And finally,
That's
the
awesome.
finally one of the most important things when it comes to audio and video together is the synchronization. Uh, Dante-AV has a clocking system just inherently built into it that timestamps all of that together when it's created. So as essences are split apart and put back together, they're perfectly in sync, perfectly in time. So that whole sort of a lip syncing effect is gone with Dante AV, and it's the only protocol in the market that has that kind of advanced clocking.
Wow. Very, very cool. Now, what else does Patton have or upcoming in their product line that's going to be, you know, AV focused?
So again, we bring in the new product, of course, is the FPX 6000, which is our Dante AV endpoints, and we have receivers and transmitters. But in addition to that, we bring in some of the FiberPlex line, which we have both AV and AVoIP approved fiber converters. So you can take that Ethernet stream that has that content in it, convert it to fiber losslessly, uh, and then of course the devices themselves are switch. It's all Ethernet based. So we have a line of PoE switches that support the 802.1 standards for AVB for the. So there's a whole set of 802.1. Sorry, there's a whole set there's a whole set of 802.1 standards to support audio video over Ethernet. And so we have some switches that support that. The devices themselves are PoE, so we have a whole line of PoE injectors that can be used with your existing infrastructure. So you don't have PoE, we have the injectors. So we have a whole portfolio of things to support this product in the market.
Awesome. And buddy, do you have really appreciate you taking the time out of your day too. I know you're a really busy guy, so that means a lot to us here at VoIP Supply. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add in for our audience or anyone wanting to learn about Patton or AV solutions?
Sure. So one of the great things about Patton is our ecosystem that we have. Now, I don't know if the audience is fully aware, but our flagship line of gateways and SBCs have all been recently certified for interoperation with Microsoft Teams, which of course falls right back into the same place. We also have partners with people that make what they call in the UC world the DSPs, and it's maybe a little different than what you think of a DSP, but it's actually a rack box that does things like echo cancellation and equalization and delay for conferencing systems. Now, those companies are already interoperable with Patton gateways for analog interface. And there's other non-team certified devices um, that are also part of those networks that have Dante interfaces in them. So we have this whole ecosystem of products, and Patton is sort of that infrastructure glue that helps it all connect together and connect outside of a single room to multiple rooms to multiple campuses. So with that whole emergence of teams, especially over this last year, we're uniquely set up to provide not only the uh, teams for voice, but now also internally to provide internal infrastructure to support teams on a higher level. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
That's awesome. And I would definitely like to invite everyone who's watching this video as well to check out the entire catalog that VoIP Supply has of Patton on our website. We have many of the products we spoke about today, including the gateways, the PoE injectors, and of course the AV gear as well. Or you can even give me a call direct. Again, I'm Brian Hyrek, VoIP expert here at VoIP Supply, and I'd be happy to walk you through, or we can tie in the folks from Patton to help you on specific projects as well.
Absolutely.
Buddy, do you have anything else you'd like to add in for us?
Well, I think your last point was a good one. We have resources here to help with these designs and put systems together. We have FAEs that are fantastic, and just working through Brian and his team there at VoIP Supply, we can get you in touch with those people, and together we create this team, and we can get some of this stuff done and into the market. So we're really excited about it.
Awesome. And there you heard it from the man himself. Please give myself or Buddy a call, and we'd be happy to help you out. Buddy, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and sharing the breadth of knowledge that you do have, and your new exciting AV line as well. For everyone who was able to tune in, we really appreciate it. Please remember to click the subscribe button below or mash that like button. That really goes a long way with us here at VoIP Supply. And again, Patton and Buddy, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you all soon.
Great. Thank you.